Time after time. She should not have been punished by them. She should have been honoured by them. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Jenny Tonge.
Thank you, everyone. And just a minor correction. I've resigned the whip, which means I'm not in the Liberal Democrat Party in the Houses of Parliament anymore. But I refuse to leave my party. I consider that I am still a Liberal Democrat. It is they who have left me. That is my position. They'll come back. They'll come back. Now, we're here today to mark the Nakba, 64 years since that great catastrophe occurred in the Middle East and the Palestinian people were driven from their lands. And the trouble is, for me, is that the Nakba is not over. It was not over in a few weeks or months. It is still going on 64 years later, as you've heard from Hugh and Garth. People are still losing their land. They're still being thrown out of their houses. They're still being beaten up at checkpoints. Young men and women are being put into prison without trial, and we know we should be thinking of those hundreds of prisoners who are now going on hunger strike to try and draw attention not just to the appalling conditions they have to put up with no visits from their families, but also trying to draw attention to the plight of the state of Palestine. Because time is running out. We have to act if Palestine is to be saved and there are to be two states created. And we also have to remind those people who support the Israeli government that it is not in the long-term interests of Israel for their government to behave in this way. They should start getting braver and louder and start challenging their government inside Israel and amongst the Jewish diaspora in Europe and America. It is time they stood up and stopped this nonsense. And finally, I would say to all of you, do not be afraid. Do not be afraid of being accused of anti-Semitism. They accuse me of that all the time. I am not anti-Semitic, and neither are you. We are anti-injustice, and that is what we are fighting. And the injustice that is doled out to Palestinians every day is one of the great causes of trouble in the world today, and we must see it stopped. So do not be afraid. The Community Security Trust, they're probably here somewhere, hello if you're here, they defend the rights of Israel in this country, and so do journals like the Jewish Chronicle. Do not be afraid of them. Do not be afraid. We have to stand up to them. We have to stand up to the lobby, and we have to say, end Israeli apartheid, free Palestine.